Hi everyone, I am Ashley and this is episode 4 of Ashlees Knitting. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back, and if you're a new viewer, welcome. So if you are a returning viewer, you'll notice I am yet again in another location. I just keep hopping around my living room to find what's most comfortable, and eventually I'll find my forever position or whatever. Today my dog is here in the room with me. I'm gonna try it out because I feel bad locking her up for a podcast, but she's also very loud, so I'll see how that goes. These past 2 weeks have been a lot of fun and a lot of difficulties. So fun, I had a family reunion and a wedding, and it was a lot of traveling and a lot of car knitting, which was great. But it was also my midterms and our power went out for 2 days, so I had to throw away everything in our kitchen. But that's all taken care of now. The midterms went well. I have the grades back. They're all really good, so can't really complain. It's just been a busy 2 weeks. But considering all of that, I'm pretty excited for this episode because everything that was a whip last episode is now finished object, and all of the whips are brand new, so that's exciting. And with that, I think I'll get right into it. The first finished object I have are my Charlie Brown socks, or I should say my mom's Charlie Brown socks. Oops. Because they are a gift for her birthday. And I'm happy I finished these in time to show you. Her birthday is August 24th, so I got them done a bit early. And they're all blocked and ready. I previously mentioned that these weren't necessarily my favorites, and it's still kind of the case, but I've also just learned to get over it because no one really notices it but myself. But it was because of these floats. When I was carrying the black from the zigzags, I could see all of the floats poking through, and it did get a little better with blocking, but it's still noticeable, but probably only to myself. So for these I used Cascade Yarns Heritage in their golden yellow and the black color. I only ended up using like 5 grams of the black, so this will definitely be making an appearance in many more socks as contrast colors, color work, heel toe cuffs, whatever it may be. And then I used about 60 grams of the yellow, so I have 40 left. And this color is not going to be as easy to work in because it is so vibrant. Like, black goes with everything, but I think the yellow might be a little more difficult to mix in with other projects, but it'll happen, and if not, it'll be maybe like a main color in scrappy socks, but it'll be used. And for this I got, so of course the socks are the present, and I got something to go along with it. Some things, I should say. It is a set of a Charlie Brown dictionary. They were printed in my mom's birth year, which is what made me reach for them originally, and they're so cool. They match the socks. And I actually just got done taking pictures for my Instagram, and I always forget to say this. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Ashlees Knitting, and they are always linked down below in the description box, and I would love to talk to you there. But one thing I thought was so cute, and I took pictures with it on Instagram, if I can find it, is in one of the books, I passed it, in one of the books, wow, I'm really struggling, it has a sock definition. Sorry about this. Yes. Socks. It has a little picture of Snoopy wearing the socks, and it says, Snoopy is wearing socks on his feet to keep his feet warm. If he were a person, he would put shoes over his socks. And I thought that was so cute, and there's tons of other ones. It's a set of 6, and it has tons of cute pictures, and I think it's perfect to go along with the socks, and I'm really excited to give those to her. So those are finished. Move them over. Ooh, they're a little heavy. And then I do have one more finished object that you saw as a whip last week, and that is the Layla Bralette by John Ho. I'm really bouncing around today. I should have said that the Charlie Brown socks, I just based off of a vanilla sock pattern. I've never knit socks for my mom, but we wear about the same size, so I followed about what I would do for myself. So vanilla socks, and then I made a chart for the zigzag. But back to my second finished object. It is the Layla Bralette. It is so cute and it knit up so fast. And the details, very cool. I highly recommend this if you're looking for a quick knit. It is supposed to be knit up in DK, so it's already pretty fast, but mine went even faster because I knit it in a worsted weight yarn. Nature Spun worsted weight. It is a 100% wool, probably not the best choice for a bralette, but I'm overall pretty happy with it. I've worn it with high-waisted shorts and a cardigan, which is really cute, and then also just like around the house with a hoodie. It's really cozy and warm, and I'm looking forward to having it this winter after the warm weather goes away. And I made this with Sophia of Yarn Stories. We were actually talking this morning and she just finished hers. She picked out a really beautiful yarn for it. It's white with like pink and purple speckles, and the speckles showed up really well with the cables, and faux cables I should say. But it was really fun to knit it along with her. We sized together, we read through the pattern because it's a pretty complex one. It comes with a lot of modifications that you can do to fit your body, so we went through that together, picked out yarn, and it was really fun to have the motivation of another knitter. So if you see a project in my queue or in my favorites, or maybe I'll go take a look at yours, maybe we can have a little knit along together if we have a common project. So that is the Layla Bralette quick knit. I think it was less than 2 weeks, very fast and very cute, and I highly recommend it. So now I will move on to whips. As I said, they're all new. I've talked about this one before, but I haven't shown it yet. So this is in my Hank's Yarn & Co. medium-sized bag that I always use, and I'll open it up here. I'm gonna show you the yarn, but please excuse the cakes. I've had troubles. Like this one has a tail and it's like a loop. It's a mess. It's a mess. So don't judge my cakes. But here's the unused one, still not very neat, but very pretty. This is from Madison & State Fiber Co. It's in the color First Light, and it is in 85 superwash, 15% nylon. See if I can straighten this out for you. Ooh, that might have been loud. Okay. It is so soft, so very soft. Most of the 18-15 blends I've worked with are really soft, and I really like that. And I think it'll be nice as a shirt. So the project is the Plant Lady tee. I am blanking on the designer, so everything is in the description box below, and you can look on my Ravelry page. It is somewhat detailed, I will admit, not the most, but there's a lot of information on there. And it's worked bottom up, starting with lace, and then it goes into stockinette until you shape for the neckline and the arms. So I finished the lace section. It's a little bunched up right now because it hasn't been blocked, but if I stretch it out a little, you can see it. It's a beautiful motif. It's the most complex lace knitting I've ever done, but it was so much fun. I did it mostly on a car ride up to a wedding in the UP. It took us about 4 hours to get there and back, so I had a lot of knitting time. And then I also got started on a little bit of the stockinette section. I love the color. I wanted a color that was fun but still a little neutral so that you could see the lace design, and I think I was successful in choosing a color for that. And I wanted to I have a progress keeper in my bag, and I wanted to put it on so we could see how far I get over the next 2 weeks, because I don't think it will be finished. I have a lot of length to go. It's a full length shirt. I'm gonna use this project keeper, which way? This way, that came with my Hank's Yarn & Co bag. It's a little cactus to match the little cactuses on the bag. So I will put that in right now so I don't forget. This has been a dream knit of mine for a couple months. I wanted to knit it this summer, and it got pushed off for a little while, but it's going now and it's beautiful, and hopefully I can get a few wears out of it before winter comes. But I'm really excited about that. These are on my Knit Picks interchangeable set. I think they're size 5, US 5. I did swatch, yay me. And I got swatched with I got gauged with the recommended needle size. And I use my Knit Picks for everything but socks. I love this set. I got the metal tips because I prefer the metal needles. The yarn slides much easier than like a wood. And then interchangeable, so when I get to the top, if I need a shorter cord or anything, I can do that. So I got the progress keeper in there. And that is the Plant Lady tee. Very exciting. I'm really excited to finish that one. So here we go. As I mentioned before, for Christmas, each of my immediate family members, so there will be 6, I need to finish 6 pairs of socks by Christmas. I have finished 3 of them already, and I have 3 to go, and one of them is here in my small size Hank's Yarn & Co bag. So cute. Perfect sock size. And these are going to be socks for my father, and these are my first time knitting men's socks, and I know the recommended is usually about 72, and he does have a larger foot size as a man. And so I did a poll on Instagram just to like feel out, because 72 felt like a lot of stitches, and I decided to go with 70. It was pretty equal between 68 and 72, so I went in the middle with 70 and did a 1x1 twisted rib so that would work out. And for the yarn, this one should be pretty familiar. This is the July colorway by A Busy Life, and I'm actually using the mini that came with it. I originally used the main color on my Guardian of the Moss socks, so those I've shown on the podcast before, and the set actually came with this mini, which I didn't use. I used only the main color for those first socks, and now I'm going to use both of them. And then along with that, just ugly cakes today, I apologize. I'm going to use this color from Ginchis Studios. I'll have her linked below. And I think they all go together really nicely, and I think they're a bit of a masculine set, which I like for my father, and it's really gonna be like a sock out of all scraps. This is left over from my eyelet bralette. I guess this isn't a scrap because it hasn't been used, but it's part of the set. And then these are the leftovers from my Guardian of the Moss socks, and I think it's so cool that they all go together so nicely. And I have them started here. The color of the July colorway, in the beginning it was pooling. It was all stopping here. But then as I got further, my gauge must have changed because now the color is coming out here, but I still think it looks really cool, and it looks so different than my Guardian of the Moss socks. It's almost like a whole new yarn just because of the stitch count and the fact that these are going to be stockinette and the other ones were patterned with cables. So I'm going to do the heel, toes, and cuffs in the brown, and whenever I do a 1x1, I try to do twisted because I don't really like the way my 1x1 looks. So I got the 1x1 twisted rib. I'm gonna go down, do a brown toe, and then I'm actually gonna put in a brown Afterthought heel. And I've only done one pair of Afterthought heel socks before, so this will be fun. And I think it'll look really good. And my plan is to do, so I'm gonna do a color block of the July, a color block of the blue, and then July, blue, July. And then in between the second and third color block, I'm going to put the heel in. And I wanted 3 stripes or blocks on the foot, and I estimated that I would need 72 rows. So I went ahead and I'm gonna do each color block as 24 stitches. So it'll give me 72 row foot and a 48 row leg, which I think will be perfect, plus, you know, the cuff and the toe and everything. And I think I'll have enough yardage for everything, but I'm not entirely sure because it is 70 stitches, but I have high hopes that it'll work out. So these are moving along slowly. I just started them the past weekend. Magic loop on my US 1 2.25 millimeter Chai-Gu red lace, my favorite sock needles. And those are going along quite nicely. It's nice to have a stockinette sock. I'll take it to school with me, and if I get there early, I'll just knit in the parking lot. If I have a gap between classes, I'll sit around and knit. So it's nice to have something easy to do that with. So those are my dad's socks. No pattern for that, just a basic Afterthought heel sock. So I usually have 1 sock whip, but this week I have 2, and I'll show you that. So I applied for a sock test last week, and she said she was gonna announce whoever was accepted, like contact them on Saturday. And it had gotten to the end of the day Saturday, and I was like, well, I didn't get chosen, that's completely fine. And that's actually when I started my dad's socks, because I needed a new sock because my Charlie Brown ones had just came off. And I didn't get anything. I checked my Instagram and my email, and I didn't get anything, so I started those. And then later that night, I got an Instagram group chat that said, these are the members of the test, whatever. But I was really confused because I didn't hear anything previously, and I started reading the messages, and everyone's like, oh, it went to my spam. So I checked my spam, and it was there. So now I have 2 pairs of socks because I wasn't aware, but the more socks, the merrier. This one is in my Unusual Surroundings bag. I need to get more of these because I like the bag to match the socks, and this one doesn't really match, but I guess I don't need to be that picky. I'll start with the yarn. So here it is. I think this was called Shark. Don't quote me on that, but it is a sock yarn from Ginchias Studios. It is a 75% superwash, 25% nylon, so my typical blend that I reach for, and it's a very pretty color. And speaking of Christmas socks, this is another pair. So I have 3 done, and I'm working on 2, so that only leaves 1 unstarted sock for Christmas. So I'm doing really good in that essence. So this one will be for my stepmom. And as I said before, this is a test. These are the dandelion socks, and I will link her Instagram below in the description box, and I'll also have information in my Ravelry page. But here they are. I also started these this weekend, so they aren't too far, but I think those are showing up the little dandelion stitches. I guess it'll sit more like this way. But I love the color. It's very variegated, but still not too much. You can still see these pretty well, and the dandelion stitch is pretty fun to do. I will admit, it is tedious for me. I drop a lot of stitches, and it takes me a few tries, but once I get the hang of it, they'll fly by. And I'm really excited to do these. They are, again, a few months ago I invested in a second set of sock needles because can never have enough socks. So these have a 1x1 rib. I said before that I don't really like the way my 1x1 looks, but I wanted to keep in line with the test to give the designer an accurate finished object. So those are going well, and you will see those next time. I just really love this yarn. I keep looking at it. So pretty. And I love testing. It's like a mini Cal. You get to keep up with everyone in the group chats and look at their yarn choices. And it's so cool to see how different everyone is. Like, mine is pretty dark and moody, and I know another participant, whatever you want to call it, chose like a bright pink yarn, and it's so cool to see the different ways it comes out, but they're all so different, but so similar and pretty. So that's that. Hopefully the next time I podcast in 2 weeks, I will have one of these done, 2 half objects. So hopefully, fingers crossed for that one. So I now wanted to look at a past project. And this also kind of goes along with the maker I love, so I'll say that now. For this episode, I wanted to call out Untitled Studios. Actually, interesting story, I originally found her on Poshmark, which is cool. Every once in a while I look on there. Some people have yarn destashes, and I actually found her shop, and I bought some there originally, and then moved over to her Etsy, and I don't know if she's actively putting out collections or anything right now, but she does have some skeins left in her Etsy that you guys should go look at. They're all so lovely. But starting with the past project, it is using her yarn. Another funny story. I weaved in the ends, blocked this, and instantly packed it for vacation, and when I got there I realized I forgot a tail. It's weaved in, it's just not cut, and I just decided to leave it. I think it's a cute little memory, so it sits there at my shoulder. I just tuck it in whenever I wear it. This is I believe a DK weight. It is the Easy Teasy by Intentional. It's very clever. I'll link it below because me saying it doesn't do it justice. But it is a cute tee. Mine's a little cropped because I used all of my yarn. It has tiny little sleeves and this cute yarn over pattern. Nilla, will you stop? I'm really sorry if she's gonna be too loud. I'll listen to the audio and adjust for the next episode, but what can I do? So yeah, this is the Easy Teasy, very cute. I'll put in a picture of me wearing it and when I finished it here in a FO photo. And yeah, I think it's a really great pattern. It works up really fast because it's the heavier weight, and the neckline is very cool. And she actually just released another tee, the Easy Teasy Lemon Squeezy, I believe it's called. And that one's in fingering weight, so it's more up my alley. So I might be making that one next summer, but the motif is just really lovely. And this yarn is also from Untitled Studios. I don't remember if it had a colorway name or if it was just a one of a kind, but I got those from her. And then along with that, the socks I'm making, of course, both of my socks have her yarn in it. And then I also have a sweaters quantity. I've had these on hand for a while now, and I actually had 5, and I did a yarn swap with someone and got rid of 2 of them because I think I only need 3 for a sweater for myself. And with these, I plan on making a pretty basic turtleneck. I think I want to let the yarn speak for this one and just do stockinette. I love this colorway. It is a hand dyed, of course, so I think I'm going to alternate the skeins. I don't know if I'm going to do helical knitting or just alternate them. We shall see. And I actually, so Knitty Natty's Fall Garment Make-Along is coming up, and whips are allowed, so for that, coming up. It's already started. It started last weekend. But whips are allowed, and for that I'm hoping to use my Plant Lady tea, finish that. I have a lingering whip that when I start back up I will show you, and then it is a 3-month make along, so I think it's possible, but I will at least start this fall. I've pushed it off long enough. This beautiful yarn needs to be used. So again, that is Ginchi's studio. I'll have her Etsy and her Instagram linked below in the description box. Check her out. Amazing, beautiful yarn. So, I have no acquisitions for this episode. I did make a few purchases. Well, I made a purchase and then I got together with a friend from college who is a crocheter, and I'll talk about her more next episode when we receive the yarn and when we get started. But we bought 2 skeins of sock yarn, and we're gonna wind them off into 450 grams and take one of each color. So it'll kind of be like a share pair set from Mandy's Makings, but those sell out so fast we figured we'd make our own. So I'll show you that when it comes, and then I made a purchase for myself that I'll show you, but I'll just show you those when they come in. I won't talk about them too much. And what else? So I don't know if I'll have any finished objects, so maybe I'll start like a hat or something quick just so I can keep the streak of finished objects going. And the next time you see me, I'll be 22. Yeah, my birthday's coming up. I'll be turning 22 before the next episode, so that'll be fun. And I'll show you if I get any knitting related gifts. So acquisitions might be pretty big the next episode between the purchases and potential gifts. We'll see. But have a good week. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next time. Bye.